Another girl has been forced to sashay away on season 18 of Drag Race, and I'm talking with her. Now, you should know if you haven't watched the episode, there's spoilers ahead, so just be aware of that. Mandy Mango is her own kind of queen, and she definitely marches to her own drum. And she was an original right from the beginning. I mean, she's both a drag queen and a nurse. And we talked a little bit about sort of what that is like and how that's kind of a perfect combo in a lot of ways. We also talked about the importance of HIV/AIDS education, sexual health, and how her as a drag queen kind of can facilitate a lot of those conversations, but also how those conversations can get a little weird when she's at the club or the show or whatever it is. Her time on Drag Race was so interesting, and she was in the bottom both those 2 weeks. You know, like the writing was on the wall for her, but she definitely left her mark, and I kind of love just sort of how weird and kooky she is. So she is my guest today. And remember that I'm talking with all the queens that'll be exiting Drag Race during this season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And of course, I will be talking with the final ones and the winner and all of that. So to make sure you're subscribed and liked and all do the things that the internet tells you to do. In the meantime, stick around because I will be right back with Mandy Mango. So grab a snack. Grab a snack. Have a little snack.
Hello, hello.
It's nice to meet you. How are you?
Doing well. How you been?
I'm doing well. I mean, I'm
I like your
really
sweater.
oh, well, thank you so much. My boyfriend told me I had to wear color, so I'm doing what he tells me to do. So, I mean, obviously, to get voted off is never fun, is never a fun situation. So how are you processing everything?
You know, I think I've prepared myself for this. Uh I made sure to like really surround myself with my friends and my team and just kind of make sure I have people around me. It I did have a lot of time since filming and all of and to getting to the episode and seeing it to be able to sort of make peace with everything and learn from it. But overall, I think when I look at my journey and where I'm at right now and how the drag race experience has impacted me, like my drag has just grown so
Mm,
much in such a short amount of time. So being able to just recognize that and feel the love from the fans and celebrate with my team just,
mhm.
I think, makes this feel more like doors are just opening rather than closing.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So, like, what do you think went wrong? It's
Like,
a big question. It's a big question.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's a layer of things, but at the core of it, I think mentally, I was very deep in my head to a point where like I convinced myself of a delusion. I think like I was processing a lot of being in the competition, processing these big names and also trying to like size everyone up essentially and also,
Mhm,
understand where I fall in the competition and how to, you know, place my strengths through these challenges. And
mhm.
I think when you're met with some of these challenges and prompts and expectations, you kind of just forget to do what you're good at. And I think that's how what happened in the first challenge of like not like of kind of going for a risky choice of using like woven mats and everything and just
Mhm.
kind of going to the extreme and being like more, more, more. And I think like that's just, I guess that's sort of my, characteristic thing I'm noticing, of my drag run is, being a lot, and I think being able to know how to ground that energy and place it correctly is, sort of my new journey, but at the same time, I love that that is a trait of mine and, like, become my distinguishing character is she's the too much girl.
Well, I mean, it's better to be too much than too little. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I always say.
yeah, I mean, who wants to be too little? But also, you had a really unique angle coming in because of what you do outside of drag with nursing and your whole identity outside of drag. So, like, how did you prepare to? Obviously, you made it a part of your experience at Drag Race, but like, how did you prepare to sort of have that be coinciding with your drag, like to have Mandy be Mandy, but also have this other storyline that you had going on as well.
Yeah. Well, I think drag and nursing have always been intertwined leading up to this. So I really started my drag career at the same time I got my RN license when I started off in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I moved from the Philadelphia area and went to rural Pennsylvania where I started where I got an artist residency and produced my own shows. And because it's such a small town in rural PA, the people I was testing were also the same people that were coming to my shows.
Mm,
And, like, I became well known as, "Well, that's the drag queen hosting the drag shows now," because they didn't have that. And
mhm,
that's also what may not be the most PC, but what they, endearingly termed me as was the HIV guy, um, which, you know what? I'll take it. That means that you
take
recognize
it.
me as that, and I'm a safe
E
place for you to get tested. I'll take it. But,
exactly.
I think being able to be a face of for knowledge and also of just queerness was, really where I learned in a small town environment, really where I learned, like, "Oh, this is a really unique perspective to see patients in the day, really get to know their life, have them feel comfortable to me to let them know about, their sex life, any, like,
Mhm,
other behaviors that they might be nervous about telling to any other healthcare provider, and being able to have an honest conversation with them of like, "Hey, girl, trust me, I know what it's like out there.
mhm,
Let's just be mindful of, like, this is also an option," and being able to essentially mother people
mm,
as a queer leader in the community.
yeah.
So it's being able to have that perspective, I think, has really added value to what I do in my nursing and my drag, as I'm doing it.
Well, I mean, anyone who's been in a gay bar around a drag queen for any amount of time knows that like people love to spill everything to a drag queen. So a nurse, I mean, you're kind of in a perfect situation here to get both at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And it's funny. People always choose the odd time and place. People want to talk about the drag things in the nurse office. I want to talk about the nurse things when we're out at the bar. But hey, that I signed up for this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, also too, I mean, I think an important thing to discuss with you is why is it, just from your own perspective, because I do really respect that you did incorporate so much of your nursing experience into your drag and you use that as a means of communicating about the need to be protected, to have HIV/AIDS communication, and bring that conversation into your drag race experience. So why do you think it's so important for people to continue to talk and get tested and communicate around HIV/AIDS, considering, all the advances that we have today with protecting ourselves?
Right. I think it's because we have so many advancements like long-acting injectable PrEP, we have DoxyPEP, we have so many tools at our disposal, but we continue to have disparities and public health concerns because
Mhm,
people have issue with accessing them, or
yep,
there's the huge problem of stigma where people don't feel comfortable accessing these things. So being able to be someone where people like a visible symbol that people trust of queerness or just confidence of, talking about these things openly, hopefully decreases the stigma and makes people also comfortable to just bring it up with their doctor and have a little more confidence with knowledge um, of how to protect themselves and take care of themselves.
for sure, for sure. Well, so even though your time was limited on Drag Race, is there something that someone said either in the judging or maybe in the workroom or whatever that like, or that you saw on the show from the past episode, that maybe stood out to you as something you'd want to address or something that has sort of lived in your brain that you can't get out of your brain?
So I would say this happened, like, in Untucked, me and Mia. Mia has been like, a really, really dear sister throughout this entire journey. I really felt like I like, watching Untucked just, like, stood out to me because it just, like, took me back and just, like, reminded me of how me and Mia's friendship kinda started and grew. To have her be such, like, a talented star figure, like, literally, help birth Rihanna and or help birth, like,
Hmm.
Britney and, like, perform with Rihanna, and, like, having her recognize my talent and see me as a star as well next to her, really was, like, such a grounding and validating energy to have in, like, a time when you're really down on yourself and feeling, at the bottom. So, seeing her help me fix my lash, I'm like, "That's a real sister, okay? That's a real
Yeah.
one." Calling me beautiful while I'm just at the table and she has, like, one contact missing, that's just
Hmm.
that's a pure Drag Race, memery right there.
Fully, fully, 1000%. Well, my last question for you is, looking back at your experience, what is something that you look back on that you wish maybe you had done differently? Or is there anything you look at that you're like, maybe I should have done that differently? And then conversely, what is something that you're most proud of?
Um, I would say I wish I did my first runway differently. Um, I wish I just went with, like, a different material, and just trusted my gut more with something that I did.
Mhm,
Um, or like should I say, like, knew how to do in terms of, like, constructing and making an outfit out of unconventional materials.
mhm,
And I wish I wore, like, different hair for that one too. I was like, "Ooh,
mhm.
that looked a little rough on the runway, okay, I that is giving Mr. Peanut." Um, and then I would say, oh, sorry, what's the second part of that question?
What are you most proud of about your experience?
Oh, I'm most proud of this table, okay.
Mm,
The table look, ironically, it didn't get, I know it didn't get all of its love,
mhm,
and I had a number of friends, try to convince me not to do that concept.
mm,
But it was something that I really felt like rounded out my package.
mm,
I don't know why in my head I thought it was gonna come midway or towards the end of the season. I had no way of guessing that or predicting that. It just was some, uh, we inaccurate gut feeling. But,
mhm,
I, but in comparison to the rest of my package, that's probably one of the most, campiest looks that I have.
mhm.
So, I'm glad I had it. It really paid tribute to, my family and just, like, um, sort of just like myself as someone who does identify as gender fluid. So just hit a number of sentimental notes while also being able to work with it with my drag family. So I'm just at the end of the day, I'm glad I brought it. Yeah, sure, I would have made a few tweaks to it so I wouldn't have to, throw it over my body and break ceramics on stage. But um I'm glad that I did bring it because I think it's just a moment that will live in Drag Race history now.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. Well, Mandy, you should be so proud of yourself, and it's been such a pleasure chatting with you. Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
for
thank you
giving
so
us
much.
so much fun on television.
Thank you so much, love. You take
Wonderful.
care.
Take care. Bye bye. Like I said, I'll be chatting with all the queens this season, so make sure you're definitely subscribed because it's going to be a lot of fun conversations coming forward. Also, I have some fun surprises and guests coming your way, so lots of great things on the way. Thanks so much for checking out today's episode. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you leave a little rating and review wherever you're listening to this or watching this, and also you can follow me at H. Allen Scott on everything. In the meantime, watch something fun today and have a good one.